to put yourself in the know and be in line with us as regards to today's class. So after that, we I talked about opening projects. You just right click and you open. It will load. Once it opens, you can be able to create your uh, WBS. This is WBS. This icon. You click it first of all. After it's a step by step process. After you finish creating your EPS, create your project. The next thing is to create WBS. Your WBS. Once you finish creating your WBS, this is what it is. This is a WBS site preparation. You know, once you finish doing that, once you finish doing that, the next thing to do is to create activity. This is an activity icon. Once you click activity icon, you can start adding the activities as regards to each work package. Like let's say for instance, this is project management, and once you come here, you see what it is. This is project management. This is the BBS which we created. If you check here, also come to the BBS and menu, you see it, project management, right? Then once you come to the activities, you can be able to identify those activities under the project management chain. So this is it: planning, project execution, project control, and project closeout, right? So once that is done, the next thing we talked about was I talked about how to create ID, that's identification number. Like I said, it's your identification number should be unique. You can decide to name it whatever you want to do, but put it in such a way that it will be unique. So once you finish your program of work and share it to your to different stakeholders, it's going to be more friendly. When you're going to be more good reading it, right? There won't be any complication as regards to what and you know is being done. So after that, I taught us how to assign our dates. Like I said, if you want to create a project, if you create a project, sorry to say, it will assign that date, that day that day you start creating that project. Let's say today is 5 of June, right? 2022, for instance. It will pick up that date, however, you can still fast forward the date, right? How do you do that? You come to project. Once you come to project, you click on that project um dates. You click on dates. You come to this menu. You see this date here, right? This is 30th of June 2023. You click it because we've already programmed it to be 30th of June. Once you click it, you assign it and you select. Once you select it, you go back again. It is not yet active, right? You go back again, you open it, right? After you open the project, the next thing to do is to press F9. So once you press F9, it will now take the same shape, right? So either you press F9 or you see this icon here that looks like clock, right? And the shortcut is F9. You click it, then you schedule. Once you schedule, it will now take shape. Do you understand? To now take shape, the activities, sorry, the project starts as regards to the date you initiated will take the same shape with it. So that is just that. And I taught us also how to add duration. Already yesterday we were working on something. This is live project, Ultramodern building. Let's assume that you are the project planner. So in this notes right now, I want you guys to be teaching me, right? Because we are all professionals, I want you guys to be teaching me what dates, because is planning is everybody's activity, everybody's role. However, you are as a planner, you are driving it. So you must liaise with your discipline team. What did you think would be okay? Okay, fine. No, this one will be, that's just what it is. This one was not good. This one, but however, they should be able to know the feasibility of achieving a particular activity as at when due, right? Activity that should take 3 days, they should know that, oh, this activity will take 3 days. They will know that, right? And engineer Michael talked about, what about if you are putting concrete and we need to wait for concrete to dry? We'll talk about that today pretty much, which is that's a lag time. I'll teach you about the lag and the lead, right? So we'll talk about that in a nutshell. So where we stopped yesterday, we started assigning durations, right? So we started assigning durations and we stopped at I think building envelope, right? If I'm correct, building envelope, right? Hello. Please, everybody on mute. We have to start contributing so we can make headlines. Please, unmute your mic and bring your contribution. We are in building envelope now. What do we add? Do you think 5 days is okay for us to do the roofing and waterproofing? Engineers, please unmute. 5 days, do you think is okay to do the waterproofing and and roofing for the building? Depend on the building,
No,
but yeah, sorry.
No,
How many days do you think will be
no,
okay? How many days should we have here?
no.
How many days do you suggest?
Let's say
depending on the building, I think minimum supposed to be 14 days.
14 days, okay. Depend on
Minimum,
the
yeah.
minimum, okay. So what about the curtain walls and glazing? This is a building envelope. Oh, the curtain walls and glazing.
uh, let's see, put 1 week, 7 days. Let's see.
7 days, okay. So what about the exterior finishes? Contributions, please. Let's
Let's
forge
put
ahead.
2 weeks,
Exterior finishes 2 weeks. That's about
14 days.
14 days. Okay. Remember, we are planning the lifespan of this project is 1 year. Take note of that. That's what we said. That's what we agreed.
We can go and check now.
Don't
If
worry,
we
don't worry.
exceed beyond 1 year, then we'll go
Uh,
and review.
yeah, we'll review. Okay, fine. So mechanical and electrical work, plumbing and fire protection. How long do you think it will take us to finish up these activities, to close out these activities?
Okay, let's see the activities now. The first activity is fire.
Plumbing and fire protection, yeah. So it's a mechanical
Okay,
activity and electrical work all together.
let's say 1 week.
7 days. Okay. So what about HVAC systems?
Eva can still be 1 week. After all, it could have been going on while they are doing the first activities. It doesn't disturb the bank. So put
Okay.
1 week first.
Okay. So what about electrical systems?
It could have been concurrently going on 1 week as well.
1 week. Okay. So most of all these activities, the constraint will be start to start. I'll teach us that.
Okay.
Yeah, I love your contribution. So what about the lighting and fixture?
Um, let's see, 5 days.
5 days is okay.
Because once you do the wiring system, electrical system, you can do light up.
Okay, so let's talk about the drywall and taping. Interior finishes. I don't want only Engineer Michael to make contributions. Engineer Emmanuel, you are there. Please unmute your mic and also make contributions. This is a class for everybody, not just one person. I need your contributions to be captured. Everybody should unmute. Uh, just unmute your mic so you make a contribution. Like I said, you guys are the one planning this thing now because my own is just to bring it to your notice and you know tell us okay, this is what it is. What do we do? So we are planning because you needed to get the practical knowledge of this particular program, right? So I won't be doing it. My own is just to initiate the process. Then I call you guys to what do you think? This is applicable to real life and scenario? So what do you think? How many days do you think it would be okay for this drywall and taping? Please, I need your suggestions. Unmute your mic and respond, please. How many days, please? I need your contributions, house, please. I need your contribution. How many days do you think could be okay for drywall and taping?
As I think let's go for that should take less than drywall and taping. That should
Sorry?
no, we should run with 7 days, but it should be less than that.
Less than that. Drywall and tipping. Okay, 7 days. After everything, we'll do our cross and check and plus and minus to see if it is within the range of 1 year. What about painting and finishes? Painting. Painting.
Painting,
1 week,
painting.
1 week.
Yeah, I can just take 1 week or 8 days.
Let me put it 1 week. But you remember this duration is also determined by the resources that is loaded. If you load more resources, sometimes it might be lower than these days. Do you understand? But we just take this for example. Sometimes if you load more resources, more resource personnel, you bring painters to come and paint that building. you apportion different resources in different locations or different spots. Of course, you will achieve your painting work quickly. But if it's just one painter, you know it will take time. However, let's because of for the sake of learning this thing, we just put it just the way it is. But I want you to have that at the back of your mind for record's sake. So what about the
Okay.
flooring and tile? The same thing applies to every other activity you're seeing here. So what about the floor and tile?
Well,
Maybe
minimum 14 days.
6 days, so
14 days. Okay.
Yes. It could be more than that, depending on the
Okay.
building.
Just also take note that your resource personnel, if you bring a lot of floor
Yes, yeah.
tilers to come and tie
It
the
takes less days, yeah, of
so it
course.
will reduce the duration. But we're just taking this because of we are learning, so we know. Do you understand? So let's talk about the cabinetry and my work. How many days will it take us to complete this section?
eh, maybe 5 days.
Okay, I leave it there. So what about painting and irrigation? I'm sorry, planting and irrigation. That's landscaping and site improvements. Planting and irrigation. How long?
That can take 7 days too.
7 days. Okay. So what about the hardscaping and site amenities?
Let's keep my side. Depends. That can take 3 to 4 days. I
Okay,
don't know.
let's leave this at 3 days. It's almost this just the site improvement. We are done with the projects, landscaping and just to clear up something. So what about the site cleanup?
It should not be more than 3 or 2 days. Well,
Site cleanup. Let's leave it
depends
3 days.
on
Let's leave it 3 days properly. So project handover, close out, close out.
Let's say 2 days.
2 days to close out. Okay.
And in case we need to take the client around, explain, you don't just give the keys now. You
Okay.
could say, come and explain one or two things for me.
Handover.
So I just say 2 days.
Handover to
Normally, it should be 1 day.
handover to class and to clients. How many days?
1 day.
1 day.
1 day.
Okay. So now I want to take us on something. Um, we have the different type of activity. We have the look at it here. When you come to this, you click here. You have tax dependent. Most of these activity are tax dependent. But then this is execution phase. I want to make this execution right because we have I want to make this execution to be not that tax dependent, but however a start milestone. That means we will have a start date, we won't have an end, we won't have an end date. I want to make it a start milestone because do you understand what I'm saying? So a milestone has to do with an activity that has already been achieved. But however, uh is it is very, very pretty well and okay to put it as a start milestone. Do you understand? So let me put it at start milestone, right? So let me put this as start milestone. You see now, and milestone has a zero duration. You should know that milestone has a zero duration. So the date is we're starting at 30th of June 23. That's the start milestone. Then the closeout. Let me put this closeout as finish milestone. So where we'll just have start date. Sorry, we'll have a finish date. We won't have a start date. Finish milestone. Okay. So how you know milestone? A milestone is an activity with zero duration. That means you don't have anything to do within that activity again. Zero duration. It assumes that it has been completed. However, the dates are captured. You look through the dates. Okay, fine. This is the date for finish milestone. We'll still adjust it like we said. We said we want it to be 1 year. Abi, 1 year. That's what we said. So it must rhyme. We look at this start milestone, which is project execution 30th of June 2023. Then look at 26th of September 2024. We'll adjust everything. Once we finish linking our tasks, then we'll see if it is corresponding to 1 year program. I don't know if you understand. If we can even do it below 1 year, fine. That means it's our own gain. If the client say 1 year and we'll finish it before that time, that means you know that we'll make a lot of gain, but we'll charge the client based on that 1 year duration. And you understand what I'm saying? So that means if we finish it within that before that 1 year, that means it simply means we have to load more resources, we have to load more personnel, and equipment are also made available that enables us or that can easily enable us to finish up the project within that particular specified time period. So that is on that note. So, like I said, we have in task activities. Sorry, activity type. We have finish milestone. We have level of effort. We have resource dependent. We have start milestone. We have task dependent. We have summary and WBS summary. The ones that are important for you is know about start milestone, know about finish milestone, and know about the resource dependent. For now, do you understand? As time goes on, you keep making research to know what others are. Just know about start milestone, know about that's why it's fundamental. Know about the start milestone, zero duration. That means you have a start date, you don't have an end date. Finish milestone, zero duration. That means you have a start finish date, you don't have a start date. That's finish milestone. Then tax dependent. That means the tax you have the dates are intact and they are dependent on each other. So that is on that note. Work with that for now. As you keep improving, then you know what and what. That's what I work with, right? So we have added our durations. Everything is complete. So can somebody check if this date is within 1 year or above 1 year? 30th of June 2023 to 26th of September 2024. Is it 1 year? Does it fall within 1 year or below 1 year? If it's for below 1 year, what is the variance? Please calculate and give me the feedback. What is the variance, please?
I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Apart from you calculating manually, can the software, is there any place you can, is there no place you can look on the software and tell you your total duration, days, and you will know? Must you calculate manually?
Look at once you finish tying up everything, it will show up here. Look at to show up at look at the duration, remaining duration. It will show up. But I want us to calculate. It is very
Okay.
important. Some software cannot do your work for you. Software is just a map, a roadmap for you to bring out your program of work. Software does not do your work. So don't depend on software. You only apply software so that you can be able to have the program tied and execute. Software will not execute your project for you. You have to know that one. So the software is not what is doing your work. You are the one doing your work. So it is what you have in your brain. What the white people do in creating it. They took what we have in our brain to create this software so that we can now applying of these programs with what we have on site makes it more, makes us more skillful. That's why I say project management has to do with skill and knowledge. Your knowledge plus skill. Your knowledge, then you are skilled with this. You apply both of them together. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
you always see the duration. Look at the remaining duration. Look at the original duration. That's where the total everything is tied. We have about 365 days, Abby.
Mm-hmm.
365 days, how many?
More, that's 1 year now.
So that's why I want us to calculate if it is also accurate before I start doing dependencies and linking those activities to themselves. Calculate if you have your Excel worksheet, open it and calculate it. Give me feedback so that we'll move ahead. We need to do a lot today. We need to create resources and add them to the tasks. So I'll just show some miscellaneous. Then I know that we are good. We can start practicing. The more you practice, the more you become more good with these tools or products. Somebody calculating.
Yeah, you said we should do.
Calculate. Is it up to 1 year? This is 30th of June 20, and we said 1 year. 30th of June 2023, and this is 26th September 2024. Is it up to 1 year, or if it falls below 1 year, what is the margin? What is the variance?
Thirtieth of June to.
So that is we are
Yes.
okay, including that the number of hours per week to get this one, because when we are calculating, if we calculate it normal, of course, when you look at 30th of June, go to 26th September, of course, it looks higher, but then we are calculating the exact work hours that we selected or we planned, that the 45 work week,
Look
that
at
40
no,
hour week.
don't confuse yourself. Look at this start date and look at this finish date. Look at the
Uh-huh.
start date. Look at this finish date. Does it falls within 1 year or below 1 year? If it falls below 1 year, what is the variance? That's what I want.
Okay.
Taking that route will be taking
It's
us
more
back.
than it's more than 1 year.
It's more
It's more
than
than 1 year now.
1 year. How many?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 year. How many? 1 year. How many months, please?
about 454 days.
Which is how many, please?
That's
One
one
year.
year.
1 year. How many months or how many days?
I'm coming. 1 year and 89 days.
1 year to 9 days. Okay.
Yes.
So
Almost 1 year, 3 months.
we'll do a break.
Almost 1 year, 3 months.
We'll do a
Yes.
breakdown. Very good. So let's start linking. When we start linking, we'll now start adjusting them. I like that. So what we'll do now is project planning. Planning will you want now what we need to do now is to create um 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 link the activities. So that's just what we need to do. Uh let me see. Okay. So linkage. Let me check. So let me open my customize detail view. Relationship. Look at relationship. So you add a relationship. Once you add a
Please,
relationship,
so you didn't tell us what you do first before we are adding relationship. The first
relationship,
step before
relationship.
this.
Hold on now. Hold on. Relationship is what
Yes, sir.
we'll add relation. Relationship is to link them. Relationship is to link. Is to link. It's just that's what we need. We need relationship just to link. Okay. Let me apply. Then so what we need to do is to because in my if you look at this bar here, I didn't see this icon relationship. This so what I did is I had to look at my mouse, I had to right click and come to customize. In your own, it will be there. I was the one that removed it, however, by default it's always there. So I come to customize and I came to this activity detail and clicked, then I push this bar, add to list. So I added it to list. After adding it to list, I apply, then I okay. So it now shows in this spot. So this is the relationship. That means I want to link the activities to themselves. Now we have planning. So okay. After planning, we have execution, right? So execution is a successor, right? To planning. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll add it. Execution, successor to planning. Once we are done with that, we'll now do the relation. We'll now do the relations type and also the lag time or lead, right? So let's just do this one first. It's step by step. Let me reduce the size of this. So the next thing is after execution. The next thing is control comes in, Abby. So control is a successor to execution. Do we agree that? Do we agree? Or mute your mic and respond.
Yeah.
This is your class. You're the
Yes.
one doing the job now. I'm just following your. I mean, whatever you tell me to do, that's what I'll do. So execution is I mean control is a successor to execution, right? That means after execution, then comes control. That's what it means, right?
Yes.
I'll click control. Then after control, we have closeout. Abby, eh?
Yes.
We have closeout. So we are done with this relationship. Okay. Then I will close this. You see now, once I've already linked this activity together, but it's not showing in my Gantt bar. And for me to make it show in my Gantt bar, what do I need to do? I have to press F9 or I click this icon that look like clock. Click it and you schedule, right? You click schedule, right? You click schedule, you look at it, it's now showing. Let me look at this icon here, relationship line, is now showing. Let me reduce it. Sorry. So you see now that it is now linked with each other.
There's some missing links for us. So I don't know if I don't know.
Which Which of them is the missing link? Which missing link from your end or from my end? There's no missing link. Look at
The successor from my head. I don't know if it happens to others.
after this video you watch after this class you have to rewatch this video to see how I did it so that we can move ahead, because since it's being recorded and it's going to be sent to everybody, you have to rewatch and follow the same step so we don't go back. I need to move ahead because we need to do a lot of things. We need to create resources and add it to tasks. Then I do other miscellaneous touchings, then we'll call it a day. It's very
Okay.
important.
But it's
So
also very important that we get it right here once and for all.
yes,
Because
that's
if we don't see what you did, we need to get it immediately. Because
what is it that you
so
didn't get?
he was asking if you should go over what you just did, how you assign them to the predecessor and the, because it's under
We are
relationship.
hooked now, yes. The
This is
last two steps we did, we didn't get it.
this is what I
Yeah,
did. This is what I did. I click project planning. Then when you click project planning under your relationship type, that's why it's relationship. You assign relationship. You assign. Then under project planning, this wizard will come up. You see look at your project planning. The next thing is execution, right? Execution.
yeah,
Then you click this assign button. You assign. Then you come here again. After execution, what's the successor of execution? It should be control. You come down again, control. You assign. After control, what is the next thing? Is after control, the next activity should be close out, right? You come down here, then you assign. After you assign, look at this table view down here. You
yeah.
see predecessor and you see successor. You discover that most of the activities have been taking their shape, they've been linking to each other. But I do my some people prefer linking from predecessor. That's backward. But me, I prefer linking forward. So if I'm going up, going down, I mean, if I'm going in front, you'll be seeing the back, you'll be seeing the predecessor of each activities. I prefer doing
Okay,
linking from successor, not predecessor. Other people like from successor, I mean predecessor, but I do my own from successor. I don't know if you understand.
okay.
I don't know if it's clear.
I'm
So
clear.
once that is done, you close this wizard. You now schedule. That means you click this that icon that looks like clock or F9, which is shortcut. Then you schedule. Once you schedule it, it will take shape, right? It will now take shape. You can see that. You can see here we have planning. After your planning comes execution. After execution, you comes your project control. After control, you comes close out. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Okay. So that is done. Remember, we will still work on the date to make sure it falls within 1 year. So let's do the necessary linking, then we'll adjust. So there's a lot of work to do. Then the next thing to do, site clearing. Site clearing. We need to link execution. After execution is linked to site clearing. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I
yeah,
will add it. Take note of this, very important. I will add my execution should be linked to site clearing also. Site clearing. This is site clearing, right? Site clearing and grading, because it's the executional process we are doing. Then you link, right? Execution and site clearing. If you look at it, it is start to start, because execution automatically, even Primavera gave us start to start. Do you understand? Anyway, I will come to that relationship type later on, but let me do the linking finish, then we'll do that adjustment. So you agree with me that execution is tied to site clearing, right?
yes,
Okay.
Yep.
If you look at the chain, execution, site clearing, and grading, which means this site when execution starts, the site clearing also starts. That's what it means. Execution, do you understand?
Yeah,
yes.
very well.
Yes.
That is the
Progress.
relationship type. Execution, when execution starts, your site clearing immediately starts. Start work means exact clearing start immediately. That's why you're seeing start to start. That means this execution and site clearing going to start together. Then after site clearing, the next thing is after site clearing, the successor of site clearing is demolition. That means you demolish whatever building that is there before, you demolish it. Let's assign it. So execution, after execution, your site clearing, after site clearing, demolition. Now I have to link successor of site clearing is demolition. So now this is demolition, I will add it, demolition, finish to start. That means after we finish our site clearing, we assume that demolition will start because we need to clear the bush, clear everything. You understand? Remove whatever that is not wanted in that field for us to start our construction. We need to clear it, grade everywhere. Then after that, we demolish most of the old buildings that are there, if there are any at all. That's what it is. So it simply means after site clearing, we will start demolition. That's why we have here, after site clearing, we start demolition. That's why we have here, which is site clearing is a predecessor to, sorry, yeah, site clearing is a predecessor, right? To
Yeah.
to what?
Demolition.
Demolition.
You understand? Site clearing is a predecessor to demolition. Once you come to site clearing, right? Demolition is a successor towards site clearing. Is that understood?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think it's
yes.
very clear. Let me do it again. I said site clearing. Site clearing is a predecessor towards demolition. Is a predecessor. Why demolition is a successor towards site clearing.
Yeah.
Which means after site clearing, we start our demolition, which means site clearing must finish in this relationship type. If you click it, site clearing must finish before we start demolition. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so I move ahead.
Demolition. Yes.
So I progress ahead. So now we need to give demolition its own successor. After demolition, we come to excavation and earth work. So do this here. Excavation and earthwork means after demolition, we should start excavation and earthwork. Do you understand? After our demolition, we should start
Okay.
excavation
Yeah.
and earthwork. Any question?
Okay, just go ahead. So they assign these successors and
Predecessors.
or predecessors. So what you need to do is to go to the button this and be clicking
Yeah, click
the
assign button.
processing.
Assign. That's the assign
Okay.
button there. So we linked our site clearing and grading to demolition. That means we say after site clearing, demolition will start. After demolition will start, excavation and earthwork will now start, which means excavation is a successor of demolition. Do you understand? Excavation and earthwork is a successor to demolition, while demolition is a predecessor to excavation and earthwork. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so I move ahead. So we have here earthwork. So now we need okay, okay.
Sorry, your voice is sometimes some words are
So I need to now chain excavation need to have its own successor. So the successor of excavation would be utilities and infrastructure. So come to this button here, we click assign utilities and infrastructure is a successor to excavation and earthwork. We'll see it here, we click it, then we assign it. We assign it. So after we finish our excavation and earthwork, then we'll start our utilities and infrastructure. That's what it means. Once that is done, you can see that the activities are chained together here. They are tied together, right? To see it, to see the movement, because okay, most of them are 3 days, 5 days. We'll come down, we'll press F9. You see now, start taking its shape. I don't know if you've seen what I'm doing. It has taken its shape. So that on that note. Then the next thing to do is to, after utilities and infrastructure, we'll start our soil tests, soil testing and site preparation. soil testing and site preparation. That means to say, let's link utilities and infrastructure should be a predecessor. Sorry, a predecessor, right? Sorry, a predecessor to soil testing and site preparation. So let me come here and click soil testing and site preparation is a successor to utilities and infrastructure. So I come here, I click this. Do you see that now? I come here, I add it. The next thing again, excavation for footings. So excavation for footings also is I'm coming. Okay. These utilities and okay. So soil testing and infrastructure. After soil testing and infrastructure, you have your excavation for footings. Excavation for footings, which is to be tied in this way. I'll click here. Let me admit somebody. Oh, not somebody, not. Okay. So, any question before I proceed further ahead? Any question? Any question, please? Any question? Okay.
Although I missed out, my network was bad, so I guess I will watch the video in that aspect.
Okay. So, after your foundation, so if you look at it here, we have an excavation for footings, and it's part of that's foundation. And here we have excavation and earthwork. So that means I need to link excavation and earthwork. Excavation, I need to give excavation and earthwork also starts probably together with excavation for footings. Do you understand? Hello, house. So
Yeah.
excavation and earthwork should be linked to also excavation for footings. So what do? I'll come to this side and add it as a successor, excavation for footings. Where is it? So excavation for footings, right? Under finish to start relationship. So that is done. So under finish to start relationship. Then the next thing to link again, um, okay, excavation of footings should have foundation formwork as a successor. So we'll come to this assign, then excavation foundation formwork, and let me see. Foundation formwork and reinforcement is a successor to excavation of footings. So I will add it, finish to start. I will still cross-check this relationship type, the ones that need to start based on so that I can have my dates in right manner because we are working on a 1 year lifespan, right? So that's when I'll now do those adjustments. So after that, then the next work again, foundation form work and reinforcement is linked to pouring. After foundation form work and reinforcement, that we will start our pouring and coring of foundation concrete. We'll start that one, right? So after this, that means this foundation form work and reinforcement is a predecessor to pouring and coring of foundation concrete. Then I'll add that. Do you see that now? After that is done, I'll press my F9 or I come to this icon and schedule so that they will take their shape, rightful shape, right? So the next thing to do is okay, foundation. So pouring and coring of foundation. The next work is I will stop there. We need to talk about design and fabrication, right? Design and fabrication. Design and fabrication is a successor. Sorry, yeah, is a as a successor of delivery to site after your design and fabrication, right? After design, it might take you a lot of time to do your design and do your fabrication. So we'll now, after we do our design and fabrication, we'll now deliver those items that have been designed and fabricated wherever it is being fabricated. We'll deliver it to site. right? We now assign. Once we assign, right? So that means to say, if you look at this end, that means to say delivery to site is delivery to site um is a successor to design and fabrication. Do you understand? Delivering whatever that's been fabricated on site, whatever it is, for after your design, you come to look at everything, they'll fabricate, they'll buy material, do procurement, because this thing is bulky, but I just have to break it down so that we can be able to achieve, fundamental knowledge. Because if I start breaking everything down, honestly, 2 months will not take us. We start breaking everything down, 2 months will not take us for us to get this knowledge in full. But I just had to walk us onto the fundamental part of how to use this product in working. To deliver in our various place of work. So after you design will take a lot of time. Then you do your procurement. Then you after that procure those items. Then you do fabrication. Do you understand? Fabrication will take a lot of time. After that, after fabrication, you now deliver those things that have been fabricated to the site of work where the activities are being taking place. So that means to say delivery to site, is design and fabrication is a predecessor to delivery to site. Design and fabrication is a predecessor to delivery to site, right? While delivery to site is a successor to design and fabrication. Do we understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So after this delivery to site, of course, we have delivered our material to site. The next thing to do is to erect those material and install. Are we getting it? So that means to say delivery to site is tied to will be tied to erect, right? So we need to link it now we need to give it a successor of erection and installation of those material that has already been delivered to site. We now erect and install. So it's tied under relationship of finish to start. Do you understand? So after doing that, you press your F9, you schedule, you see the movements. So design and fabrication. After that, you deliver to site. After that, the next activity is the erection and the installation. Those materials that's already been fabricated, you now erect it and start install. So once that is done, the next step is brickwork, brickwork and then block work, right? Brickwork and block work. That's masonry and concrete. Um, so masonry and concrete should be um this is a different work package. So I don't want to tie them together. I don't want to tie erection with block work. Let me leave them and put their specified dates as when this should start, right? Based on the WBS. Somebody's knocking. Let me admit somebody. Okay. So I don't want to chain this erection and installation to brick, but I want to have brickwork and
Yes.
brickwork chain to its own activities, right? But if there's need for that, I will do that based on logic, because this is now a logical work. This is how the way they do it is a logic. You are the one now. You have to start thinking, critical thinking on how to linking activities together is a logical work, is a brain work, is a brain work. That is just that. That's where the main planning comes in. The main using your skill to execute these activities, using your skill to bring out a program of work with primavera pieces. That is when the skill comes into play. So now, brickwork and block work. After brickwork and block work, we have casting, place concrete walls and floor. So let me assign casting place concrete walls and floor is a successor to brickwork and block, and so to brickwork and block work. Let me look for it. So casting place concrete walls and floors is a successor to this. That means after you finish brickwork and block work, the next thing is to cast and place concrete walls and floors, right? We'll do that. That's finished to start. So
Well, calling back myself.
once we finish,
Engineer, promise, please. It seems there is background noise, sir. Please help us unmute, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
so
you, sir.
once you finish your
Okay, my son Justin.
Once you finish your brickwork and block work, the next work activity is cast in place concrete walls and floors. So once casting concrete walls and floors are done, the next thing is to do precast concrete panels. So precast concrete panel is a successor to cast in place concrete walls and floors. You do the precast, you link it, the activity has finished to start activity, right? So once that is done, the next thing is to uh, now the building envelope. Building envelope. Now let's tie this together. Roofing, roofing and roofing and waterproofing. Roofing and waterproofing. After roofing and waterproofing has a successor of curtain walls and glazing. So roofing and waterproofing, success of cutting walls and glazing, you add it, finish to start. Remember, I will still touch this relationship type depending so we can be able to adjust and also our lag time and lead time to accelerate our times in order to meet up to that 1 year duration lifespan of this project, in real time. So after you link your cutting walls and glazing, which is a successor to roofing and waterproofing, the next thing to do is to link exterior finishes, which should be a successor to curtain walls and glazing. So curtain walls and glazing is a predecessor to exterior finishes. So we now add exterior finishes, which is a successor to curtain walls and glazing. We add it, finish to start activity. Let me remove this wizard. Then we'll click our F9 or this icon, we schedule. You see, it will take shape. You see now your plan is coming to fruition. So it takes shape automatically. The next thing to do is we now mechanical work. Now we're done with building envelope. Mechanical work, we have to tie it together. Now, after plumbing and fire protection, uh I think most of these activities should be start to start, right? But we'll do that in the relationship type, right? Let me just first of all link everything together. Then we'll now work on relationship type step by step as logical. So let's assign HVAC. After, let's assign HVAC tied to H tied to plumbing and fire protection. Okay, so that means when plumbing and fire protection is going on, HVAC system also should also be going on, right? Do we agree? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
Yes, yes, they can go on. They don't.
So they will go on.
Yes,
They will go on together. That means it should be. Look at this relationship type. That means we'll come here and put it start to start. It should be start to start. That means we should start HVAC and start to start. We start HVAC and plumbing and fire protection together. That's what it means. Then when we come to HVAC and HVAC system, electrical system also should be dependent on its own. We'll tie it to this, right?
yes,
We'll tie it together and we'll put this relationship of start to
yes,
start relationship. That means they will start together, right? They will start the same day. Eh? They don't have any negative effect to themselves. They'll start the same day, start to start. Then system electrical system also is tied to lighting.
yes,
So lighting comes in, we put it here. Then relationship type, electrical system should be also start with lighting and fixtures, right? Do we agree with that? Hello, do you agree with that? Hello.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. That's start to start. So what we did here now,
Yes.
in this mechanical and electrical work, that means this plumbing and HVAC system are starting together. Electrical system and lighting system are starting together. Let me schedule. Click F9. You schedule. You see. So that means these systems, those ones are starting together. They are all starting together independently. They are running together. However, the duration might be different. So if this duration is 10 days, this one is 2 days, that means they will start together. However, this 2 days one will finish, then that 7 days will still continue. Do you understand? Do you understand? Let's assume this plumbing and fire protection is 12 days, for instance. Eh? And let's assume HVAC 7 days. Electrical, let's assume this one to be 6 days. 7 days. Sorry. Let's leave it 7 days, and then let's add up this HVAC system. Let's put 8 days. What I mean is this: 8 days. So what I mean is this: you remember they are all starting together, both plumbing and fire protection, HVAC system, or the other activity are starting together by their by the resource personnel executing the project on site. However, this that means to say this one that is 12 days, this plumbing and fire protection that has 12 days will start together with this HVAC. However, these 12 days will still continue. These 8 days will finish before these 12 days. These 7 days, in fact, these lighting and features will even finish before every other activity. However, they are starting together because of the duration limit. Do you understand? Because of the duration limit. Is that clear? Is that clear? Do we understand?
Come back.
Do we understand? I said this plumbing and fire protection.
Please, can you re-explain it?
This plumbing and fire protection under mechanical and electrical activity, WBS, we have plumbing and fire protection, which is 12 days. HVAC systems, which is 8 days. Electrical systems, 7 days. Lighting and fire features, 5 days. And remember that we have already linked all these things, all these activities together, right? We've already linked all these activities together. That means to say HVAC system, HVAC system, HVAC system. Most of them are tied together. HVAC system has a predecessor of plumbing and fire protection. However, they are starting together. As a predecessor of plumbing and fire protection. Then let me see, um, electrical electrical systems have a predecessor of HVAC system. Electrical systems have a predecessor of HVAC system. Then lighting and fixture has a predecessor of electrical system. However, they are all starting together based on the relationship type that is here. Based on the relationship type that is here, start to start. And take notes, because this number one activity here, this plumbing and fire protection is 12 days. Plumbing and fire protection will still continue while other activities will finish because of the duration limits. Lighting and fire feature will first of all finish because it's at 5 days.
Okay, you are right.
Then
Yes.
electrical system will follow because it's at 7 days. However, they are all starting together. Then HVAC system will finish. Why plumbing and pressure will still continue because of the limit of duration that is attached to it. Do we understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Then after that is done, you click your F9, you schedule. So that is that. The next thing to do is to link interior finishes. Now, let's link our tap wall and taping. Tap wall and taping, which is interior finishes, have a successor of painting and finishes, right? We'll leave it as finish to start. That means once we finish our drywall and taping, we should start our painting and finishes, right? Painting and finishes. So then after painting and finishes, we link it to flooring and tiling. Flooring and tiling. Do we think it is feasible for us to start painting and finishes with flooring and tiling? Is that feasible in a real life scenario?
No.
No.
It's not feasible.
Flooring and tiling take place first before painting and finishing.
Before painting and finishing. They don't run concurrently.
Okay.
They don't run concurrently. Yes.
Very good.
There must be some days we give to flooring, to tiling. Then when you have finished tiling some places, then they can start painting some and then progress the other one. So it depends on the nature of the project. So, but they can't start at the same time.
Okay, so that means
apart from that, ideally, if you paint the wall of the room and you want to come and put tiles, when you are doing the skirting of the tiles, you use raw cement again to stain part of the painting. So it's better you do your tiling, flooring tiling, you sketch round the walls before then you paint.
Before we paint.
Then no
Okay.
stains again.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now, what I have to do here now, because I said here, drywall and taping has a successor of painting and finishing, right? Then now this painting and finishing has a successor of flooring and tiling. So we need to start flooring and which is, let's put it, starts to finish. Do you understand? Just like finish to start is the opposite of start to finish. This one should finish, for example. That means to say we need to start flooring and tiling, just like we suggested, before we start painting and finishings. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
so I'll
yes.
leave it as start to finish. I'll leave it as start to finish. That means we need to start flooring and tiling before painting and finishes. Then the next thing to do, flooring and tiling, is to, after flooring and tiling, the next thing is cabinet and millwork, right? Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Cabinet and millwork, which is should be finished to start as well. Finish to start relationship as well. So after we finish our flooring and tiling, we have our cabinet and millwork, right? So once
Mm-hmm.
that is done, we click F9 or click that icon that looks like a clock. We schedule. So you look at it, you see what we have here, right? So once we finish that, now have to tie the activities of landscaping and site improvement. Landscaping and site improvement. Then we come here, planting and irrigation. That means planting and irrigation should have a successor of hardscaping and site amenities, right? Let's do that.
Yes, yes.
So hardscaping and site amenities finish to start. That means after we finish our planting and irrigation, we'll start our hardscaping, and then after hardscaping and site amenities, we'll now start cleaning, site cleanup and restoration. Remember the
Yes.
previous hand. Then we'll link it here. Link it. That means successor of the hardscaping and site amenities. That's site clearing and restoration. So successor. That means after we finish our hardscaping and site amenities, the next thing is to look at is a site cleanup and restoration. So once that is done, the next thing is to do what? Project closeout. That means to say site cleanup and restoration is tied to project closeout. So site cleanup and restoration is tied to project closeout, right? So
Mm-hmm.
under finish to start relationship. Then once we do our project closeout, the next thing is to do what? To hand it over to the client under finish to start relationship. Finish to start relationship. Once we do that, we are done. Then we press F9 or we click this and we schedule. Do we understand? We have linked all our activities together. We have done all the magical work that we need to do, right? Linking all the activities together, right? Which we have done. Then look at your Gantt chart. Look at your Gantt chart. You will see the bars, representing each activity in a graphical way. Look at the Gantt chart. Look at how they are interlinkage, link with each other. Just look at it. Very, very important, right? They are linked to each other and with each other. So, any question before we start amendment of the dates? Any question?
What I see is that, like you said earlier, you are just trying to pour your head, what's on your head, on the software.
Yes.
The planning is actually coming from your head
Yes.
to know when I need the person and when I will need this person.
You
What do
got
I
it.
do first before I do the other one?
Exactly.
What can I do that will enhance doing the next thing?
Exactly. You
So-
got it right. You got it right.
So then it means you need to do proper planning work, which is the beginning. Getting to know these different subcontractors, getting to know their job scope for you, getting to know their duration, getting to know which one comes the predecessor and the successor
Very well.
from each of the subcontractor. You need to maybe view it with your head first
Very well.
before you start pouring it on the system.
Very well. 100% complete. 100% you are complete. You're correct. 100% completed and correct. You're correct. 100%. So that is that. Planning is your head knowledge. Is your head work. That's why project management has to do with knowledge, skill. You see now, what I'm doing here is skill, but it is from knowledge. I'm using my
Yeah.
skill. Do you understand? That's why it's an application of knowledge and skill. Knowledge and skill. You must apply knowledge and skill to deliver. Do you understand? Not just having that skill, you don't have knowledge. So that is that. Now, what we need to look at, we have already done the linkage. Hey, Michael, you said something as regards to what about if we are this one is supposed to this cement, we post cement. Let's look out for that activity: soil testing, excavation, reinforcement, concrete work. Which one is tied to that your question yesterday, so we can create?
But let me ask. Let me ask question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I can see that the projects are all linked, but when you look at something like pouring and curing of foundation linked to
Okay.
design and uh, and fabrication, you find out that it doesn't look as if it is linked. I don't know.
Which one is that? Design and fabrication.
Now, okay, let me use the code now. This and that's F1, is it 1030 linked up with SS1 1000, that's 1000. So I'm not seeing the arrow linking.
Though I didn't link it together. I didn't link it
Yeah,
together.
Okay,
he's
so are they not
suggesting
supposed to be
it
linked?
should be linked.
Do you want me to link? I didn't
Because,
link it together.
because
Because
when you
for
fabricate,
what
you
I'm trying to
make
say
your
for a
iron rod.
project, what
What
I
message?
mean is that for a
Okay.
project like this,
Uh,
I'm thinking that all must be linked for it to be a seed, for it to all of them supposed to be linked. But for the purpose of this class, well, let's progress. But I'm thinking that they're all the entire activity supposed to be linked somehow, so that if there's any little change in anyone, you can now run around the rest. I think that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know.
okay, let me link it. Now we have the pouring and curing of foundation concrete.
No, no, I'm just talking. So I
No, no, no,
know
no.
time is
No,
running,
no, no,
but
it's
I'm
a good
just
one,
trying
It's a
sir.
to
good
It's a
help
idea.
good,
us.
it's
Let
a
me
good
proceed.
one, sir.
So once we have the pouring and curing of foundation work, I have to link it to design fabrication, which has to be design fabrication is a successor. Now let me do that. Design and fabrication should be a successor of pouring and under finish to start relationship. So I've linked it together. Let me schedule. So you now see it now. So after your pouring and curing of
You
foundation
know what I'm
concrete,
saying?
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I got everything right. But because of this, for the sake of this class, I just had to, you know, forge ahead.
Wait,
Well,
I want to ask.
I know that.
Uh, 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 Between design and fabrication and pouring and cutting, who should be? You should have had you should have what do you call it? You should have done your iron rod work, tie the basket together before you go and cast the pillar. So the pouring and cutting should not be predecessor to that fabrication of the iron
One thing
work.
I don't understand what you said.
I want to say here. One thing I want to say here. I know what he's saying. One thing I want to say here is that
Okay,
we are
sir.
just trying to understand how
This system
this
runs using
this
P6.
system run. Where he's not like giving you a detail of how you do your civil work.
If you
When you
start
are doing
doing,
your civil
Okay,
work,
sir.
if you
you can
like,
do that.
hello, bros. If you are doing your civil work, if you like, go and cast foundation without the iron rod. That's your you should know. So what we are doing is learning.
All you're doing is just getting the
Yes,
math.
So
sir.
I
sorry, we
can't
have
teach
to
you.
be
I
honest.
hello.
So
Yes,
when you
sir.
want to do
Yes,
your
sir.
civil work, you need to write down that your work breakdown structure. And that when you are writing that now, that work breakdown structure is supposed to be according to the work, stage by stage. That
Yes,
is where
Yes,
you
sir.
do the main work.
yes.
So when you do that
Let's.
stage by stage, then you can now progress.
So let's forge
Okay,
ahead.
Okay.
I don't want us to
I
take
think
us back.
so. Let's
I
progress.
know the reason why I'm doing this way.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is just to show you.
Just progress.
This is a
Because there are
fundamental.
more things we want to learn.
This is
Because
a
the time is
fundamental.
very short.
This is a
Yeah,
fundamental
yeah, yeah, yeah.
knowledge. If I start doing those details, we won't live here. That's like
Mm.
starting those details will take. In fact, we'll do all these
Yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
tomorrow. Will come again. So it will take us like many months to understand this primavera very well. But I just want us to be running with up and running with it. So not everything I will punch out, but I just show you how to do the linking. In case you want to do your own linking, I showed you the way to link it. You can
Yeah,
link it
yeah.
the way you want to do it, so long as you can use this primary
As
pieces.
engineers, we should write out those other things ourselves, and
Uh-huh.
then
That is it
what we are learning here now is how to link it. When we have finished it, we have to do the other things by
by
ourselves. I
yourself.
understand. Go ahead.
So Engineer Michael
Go
mentioned
ahead.
something yesterday.
Thank you.
He said after concrete we need to make for 4 days to dry, Abby. So for the 4 days,
Yes.
where is the place? Where is
21
the
days. 21 days.
okay? We need to wait. Okay, let's say where's the foundation and reinforcement? Concrete. Let's do it in this portion of concrete, Abby.
Yes, yes.
We need to wait for. Let's assume that design and fabrication work are already in place. Everything has already been done. Eh? So, and we say design and fabrication work is linked to pouring and concrete is linked to design and fabrication work, right? Let's put
Mm-hmm.
here. That means a lag time. That's when you now use lag. Lag simply means ahead of time. Lead simply means accelerated time backward. So let's say, but this is applicable to your site. It doesn't affect your I mean your schedule. It's just applicable to your site reality on site. Now let's say after we pour on concrete and foundation, we need to allow it to dry, Abi.
Yes.
We need to allow it to dry. Which maximum of how many days?
If you do pillar casting and decking, that's 21 days.
We need to allow it to dry for 21 days.
Yes.
Let me add 21 days. You're the one teaching me. So that means to say after we finish pouring and coring of foundation work, we wait for 21 days before we start design and fabrication. No. I shouldn't link this design and fabrication because I said it should be dependent on their own self. I don't know if you understand.
Okay.
It should be dependent on
Okay,
yourself.
okay.
I shouldn't link it together. So if you have your project, you can link your own together, produce your program of work, so long as what you are presenting is realistic. So let me remove this design and fabrication. Let me delete this. Let me delete it. So you see the chain is broken. So
Okay.
let me schedule. Okay, so the chain is broken, and let me look for something feasible. Let's say after block work and brick, we need to wait for like let's say 2 days before we start, because remember it's finished to start. Hmm?
Yeah.
We need to wait for 2 days more. Let's put it 2 days lag. After 2 days, irrespective of after 2 days, that means once we finish our brick work, after 2 days, once we finish our brick work and block work, after 2 days, in conjunction with these 7 days, after 7 days, for 7 days, by the 7th day, we already finish our brick work and conjunction. They will now wait for after 2 days before we now start this casting, place, and concrete work. That's what it means for us to put this lag time. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it means. So this is applicable to your site's reality. So I've already added it. That's what I've already added it and schedule. So it's already taken in place. It's taking its position as regards to this program. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So
Now, how do we bring in lag time of natural phenomena? For example, we are in rainy season and rain has been raining for 7 days. You cannot walk under the rain. How do we consider such a lag time?
and you tie it in your calendar.
Okay.
You tie it in your calendar. You tie it in your calendar that so because of this date and this date, it has been raining. Then after you tie it, you write everything out. Then you come to primavera pieces. You have that knowledge of fine. You now implement it. You now implement it I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You now implement it, you write it down on a paper, and you come down here. This activity, this is what happens so time, rain. You that is if you want to write, you can write a story. That's also a risky activity because of the rain, right? You have to now write to the client that's when that your EOT extension of time to give you extension of time because of so thing because of rain. Do you understand?
So the lag time must have happened, being a natural phenomenon,
You don't have to.
before you can
You
come
don't.
and.
You don't put lag time in natural phenomenon. You have to put lag time based on the activity. Because you put block work, block need to dry. Then you understand. After block dry,
Okay.
whatever. Then the next thing should start like after your block work have your block work and block sorry brick work and block work has dried. Which, I mean, in fact, after you finish it, that let's say you have 2 days, you finish it after 2 days. You need to wait for 1 day, for instance, for it to dry.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
1 day, that's when you start the casting and place concrete, irrespective of because it is finished to start. It doesn't mean because after you finish your brick work, you now start this casting place and concrete work. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that you immediately start. No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that after you finish your brick work and block work, you now start casting place concrete walls and floor. No, you have to give a lag time. A lag time simply means a time ahead plus. In project management, lag simply means ahead of time plus. Normally, generally, lag time, you see lag time as behind. In project management, lag time is
Yes.
not behind though. Lag time is ahead. Lead time is behind. It just reverse. Lead time is behind. Just like I say, lag time. If lag time is ahead, lead time is behind. And I've showed us how to implement this lag time in our lag time is only um, made or used for our site activity as realistic. It doesn't apply to the client contract or whatever. It is we, because we know, okay, we have to dry this thing after 2 days. If you wash clothes now, you need to wait for some, let's say for instance hours before we now start. Either wait for some hours, sometimes 5 hours, 4 hours before we now start ironing. You will not wash and start ironing. Washing is the start time. Ironing is finish. Washing, you start, then you start ironing. Finish After you finish washing, you start ironing. That's finish to start. But you will not wash in a realistic way. You cannot wash and start ironing. You need to wait for hours, like 3 hours, for it to dry before you iron. That's why this lag time is important. You now put a lag time if it is 3 hours. However, you chained it in such a way that after you finish washing, you start ironing. But realistically, you have to put this. That's why this lag time is very important. You put a lag time of maybe 3 hours or 4 hours before you can now iron, because you need the cloth to get dried before you iron. I don't know if that is clear.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So once that is done, that is just that. Any other question before I forge ahead? I think I'm done with the linkage, but let's look at the dates if it is corresponding. Okay, look for me if this is up to 1 year. If it is not up to 1 year, please, somebody should just quickly look if it's up to 1 year. Is it up to 1 year? 30th of June to November 2024. Is it up to 1 year?
More than 1 year.
How
Is that
many?
more than 1 year?
1 year, how many months?
1 year and 2 months.
1 year. Okay, let's leave it. I said if it is 1 year and 1 month or so, we should leave it. But if you want to adjust, because there won't be time, that's another work again. If you want to adjust those years, what you need to do is to level your duration or this date. You start drawing the dates back, right? Start drawing the dates back, right? But I wouldn't have that time to do, because it's a lot of just the way we set up all these things. It will take a lot of time, right? But let's just assume that 2 months is a contingency. I mean, it's just a contingency. We keep 2 months as a contingency plan, should in case we didn't finish it 1 year, because the client gave us 1 year. But let's just say 2 months to cover up every other thing again, which is realistic. Do you understand? And which is realistic. 1 year, 2 months is a very good one. If they give you 1 year to finish up a project, not every project that they give you particular, and if they give you particular time span that it will be achieved that time, it is never possible. No project is achieved as planned. It is not, whether you are the best project manager in the whole world. I pasted that on LinkedIn today. No project, no matter how good you are, you cannot achieve project as planned. The client give you 1 year, you achieve it 1 year. Eh? You can't. There must be one thing, one thing, one thing. That's why it's project. There must be ups and downs. So as a good planner, you keep you keep 2 months ahead time, like 2 months time. Should in case we didn't complete it 1 year, let's say within that 1 year, 2 months, 2 months should be enough to cover up every mess. Do you understand? 2 months should be enough to cover. So it is realistic just the way it is. However, if you want to adjust it, like I said, to that 1 year, just to suit to that plan, you can click this date and bring it backward. You can click the date, you bring it backward. You just take it backward. You take it backward, right? That if that's you want, if that's what you want to do, you click it and bring it backward. But I won't do that now. So that is just that. But for as a matter of fact, this is more realistic. Do you understand? If you look at it, it's more realistic. We are starting site clearing on the 7th of August and we are ending on the 10th of August. 10th of August, we are starting demolition. As we are ending that site clearing, we are starting demolition and we are ending 14th of August. That 14th of August, we are starting excavation earthwork, and we are ending 17th. That 17th of August, we are starting utilities and infrastructure, and we're ending 23rd of August, right? Then 23rd of August, now 24th of August, we are starting. Let me see what date is this 20. Okay. So now on the 24th of August, which happens to be on Thursday, right? On Thursday, we are starting soil testing, and that means after we finish this work on 23, on the 23rd here, on the 24th, we are starting soil testing, and so you see it's feasible. You see everything is realistic. But if you want to adjust it to suit your 1 year, you can do that, changing the date. Don't touch the finish date. Only work on the start date and the duration. Work on the start date and the duration. Don't touch the finish date. This Primavera will calculate your finish date for you. Don't touch the finish date. Work on the start date and the duration. Having said that, then I move to the next agenda, which is resources. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Mhm.
Okay. So let me schedule. So we are done. Let me. So our activities are linked together. You can easily explain this to management. If they call you for explanation, you explain this one, this because of this. Now this one because of after this the concrete. I mean the block work get dried. We need to wait for 2 days. 2 days first. You show them 2 days. After 2 days, then this one will now start. You just all those things. All this. That's why it's an application. Is you have to have that knowledge first of all and be skilled with this particular product or software to now produce your program. This is a program of work that has been produced. So congratulations, you cannot produce a program of work. You cannot produce a program of work using Primavera P6, no matter what it is. You can now produce. So the next thing to do, if they say you should add resources, you come to this end. You see resources. Sorry, resources. You click it. I already have many resources here. What I would advise us to do, I wouldn't want us to start adding resources based on Chima, Roland, Michael. I want us to add it based on discipline and tie it together. Mechanical, electrical, plumb. How many of these things do we have there? Let's look at it so that we'll fall in line. We have projects, we have civil, civil, uh, mechanical, electrical, and we have projects, civil, mechanical, electrical. Interiors and finishes is still done by maybe
Mechanical, MEP.
mechanical.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So mechanic, we have just three. So I won't advise, like I said, I don't go and add names. If you want to add names, you can add different names, so it's good. But what I do, I tie everything together with their discipline. How to create a resources. These are resources that I created in my projects that is going on. I'm not going to use them. I'm going to create something new for us. So we'll see how it is done. So if you want to create resources, you like I said, you click this icon that looks like human being. You click it, it will open this window. Just as we did, created the BBS, created our EPS, the same process. You look at this plus sign, you add, uh you push this back because I don't you look at it. If you look at this, look at it here, new. I don't want it to be tied under this, so you push it back. Sorry, you push it back. Where is it? I think it's down.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
For me, all the resources is all blank. Is it that because we have not added anything before?
It's not blank as in what way? In your
Like
own.
I can't. There's no list of resources, previous resources on this is
You don't
on
have
this.
any resources now. Do you have you
On
loaded
your
those?
own, yeah, yeah, you
It's your
don't.
own system now.
Yeah.
Do you have
So
any?
how
You
do I
not
add?
plan, you never plan project
Have
now.
you planned anything?
Yes. Okay, so how do I add to it, please?
The way
To
I
add
did it, you
resource.
will click on this resource, click it, and when you click it, you click add.
I'm not seeing add. That's why I'm not
Look
seeing
at look at
the.
look at my icon. Are you seeing this add? Are you seeing my screen? Look at this add button here. Add button, or you right click and add. Simple. Right click and add.
Okay, I've seen it at the top right. Okay, it's also at the
Okay,
hidden side.
please
Yes.
mute your mic. Let me continue. Just right click and add. So right click, very easy. You add. So you indent it back because I don't want it to be joined together. This is what I want to create. I'll push it up. So this is let's just leave it on its own. So here let me just create about three resources. I think three will be okay. Sorry, I don't want this. Let me first of all name this mechanical discipline. Then I create another one again. I add mechanical discipline, electrical, electrical discipline. And I create another one again. I add this one should be civil structural discipline. Any question before I proceed? Any question, please? Any question, please? Any question, Emmanuel? Emmanuel, hello, Emmanuel. Do you have any question? Okay, if no question, so um, let me shift this. Look at this same button. Let me push. I want to do something. Let me create PMO. That's project management. Let me add another one again, and I'll push it to. I'll make it. I'll push it. Coming. No, I'm coming. I'm coming. Let me delete it. Delete it. Let me push other ones to be aligned together. Separate it to. Okay. So this is what I want to do. Then I'll create something else again. Okay. All right. So let me just call this one project manager or PMO. So in the PMO, there are disciplines that are under the PMO. The same thing with this. Click move, electrical move. So once that is done, you now see that in these resources we have PMO, we have civil structural discipline, we have mechanical discipline, and we have the electrical discipline. And remember, like I said, type of labor, we have, oh, sorry, sorry, maybe I want to see what I've done. Okay, okay. So, so type of labor, we have where is that stuff I created? I have a lot of resources here. So, okay. So type of labor, we have here, I told us we have three type of labor. So labor type, you see here, labor, materials, and non-labor. So labor has to do with the people. Material labor, material has to do with your equipment, whatever, and non-labor, you know, sometimes money. So money, that's capital, any way you want to call it. So that is just that. So after you create your resources, the next thing to do is to assign these resources to those tasks. I'll teach us how to do that. So these are the resources we created. Let me see if I can even change the ID. Let me say ASPOG. ASPOG. I don't know if it will go. ASPOG. See now, ID must be unique. That's one good thing. ASPOG 1, ASPOG 2, ASPOG 3. So that is that. So, like I said, the maximum unit per time for each resource person is 8 hours. Do you understand? 8 hours per day. This is what it is here. 8 hours per day. 8 hours per day. 8 hours per day. 8 hours per day. If you want to change it, you can come down to this down. You see this uh you see this icon, you click this icon, detail, units and price. So unit and price, you want to change this 8 hours. By default, it will still be there, 8 hours per day. You can change it. That's when, if you want to talk about costing, you see the unit and price, you cannot put it. This is not something I'm supposed to teach us, but no problem. Let me just still go further. You change it. If it is 10 hours, you want them to work. Do you understand? So that is when that 5 hours Saturday, this is where it's applicable. Your Saturday 5 hours, this is where it's applicable. You now add it. Do you understand? So if, let's say, we add 10 hours, you will see that you have 10 hours here. But by default, it's 8 hours. So it will not change. It is you now that will change this maximum unit per time. That's the maximum man hour for each activity based on the resources. So this resource personnel will work for 8 hours in a day. 8 hours in a day. 8 hours in a day. But let me leave it at still 8 hours. Right? So that is just that. Any question before we go to linking? Hello, house. Network. Network. Oh. I'm having network problem. I'm having network problem. So once this is done, the next thing to do is to do the linking. So come to our project, sorry, our activity, and after that, uh, okay, then resource assignments. Look at the button, resource assignments. You click the resource assignments, right? Um, so once you add everything, once you finish adding up your attaching your activity to the task.